So there's a bunch of wolves living in the forest yelling at each other for no reason. Baby Alari wants to go hang out with the only other puppies alive, but her father doesn't let her because he doesn't believe in single parenting. Meanwhile, Luna abandons her two siblings and the wolf she was cloned from to go hunting for a love interest. The other puppies also sneak out because there hasn't been a single instance of rule following so far. My friend told me there's this cool thing called a fence that we should go touch, says Midnight. What friend? Asks Bone. Griffin, she replies, making up a name. The adults split up to gather their various terrible children, and Flutter finds Alari at the fence screaming back and forth with a calf. This is pretty embarrassing, so she dies instantly. Meanwhile, Fang lets little Mr. Generic Wolf join the pack because nobody could be important or dangerous looking like that. Instantly afterwards, Fang hears his wife die and teleports to her side, but it's too late to save her. He doesn't bother looking for Alari because he hasn't changed his stance on single parenting. Then Blue gets kicked out and her children are only mildly concerned. Midnight tells Fang that she's innocent, perfect, and would never do anything bad. Sure, why not? Responds Fang. A week later, Fang's brother comes in and tells him to remarry. Seemingly, the only other adult in the pack is Yin Yang, an 85-year-old woman, so he refuses. As it turns out, the cow is really into this whole being a wolf thing. She has dreams about screaming into the abyss with Blue, who she's never seen before, which may or may not mean anything. Millie's father is extremely disappointed in her for being a wolfaboo, which only reinforces her obsession. In the time since she was a puppy, Luna has been made the Omega, which is Wolf 4 guy everyone's allowed to casually abuse. Bone is now the Beta, which is Wolf 4 Warrior Cat's deputy. Midnight has been trying to seduce Lupus, so he sneaks into Yin Yang's exposition dump instead. Apparently being a wolf sucked until somebody set up a monarchy, and then it all sucked again because his sons were too easy to murder. Because he has amnesia, this is the saddest story that Lupus has ever heard. Fang punishes him for crying by making him go advance the plot with Luna. At the same time, we learn not only does Millie want to be a wolf, she's also getting into emo alternative music. Oh, and she meets a bird named Loki or something. Together with him, she discovers that lightning has melted a huge, obvious hole in the fence. She leaves immediately, because her parents will never understand her. Luna and Lupus then bring Millie home with them instead of eating her, and the cow is instantly awarded a higher rank than Luna. But first we have several flashbacks. We learn that daring wolves to go see the fence is basically a pack of night tradition, because that's where Fang hooked up with his wife. You see, the fence giveth, and the fence taketh away. We also learn that Alari is fine, except for the fact that she has extreme survivor's guilt. Bone channels his puppy love for her into some form of pure, absolute rage. Fang invites every wolf alive to his house party. Millie's conscience, Jiminy Kitty, gets attacked by a hawk in the middle of the woods. Luckily, a roaming band of love interests rescues her. Midnight tries to get the cow kicked out, but unfortunately Millie is Midnight's new rival for Fang's affections. The cat club yells at each other for a while in the distance. Tons of random dudes pile into Fang's house, and one of them has seen Lupus before. Apparently looking like the least interesting wolf possible makes you stand out. Mara destroys Lupus's amnesia with nothing but a determined stare. We learn that Lupus was the fourth puppy of Mr. King Dude's oldest and most killable son. He and his siblings, Mean Aurora, and incredibly charming and attractive Tia, all traveled with their parents to the Wolf Kingdom to get murdered. Errol and Lupus narrowly escaped, because they're boys, but apparently they just ran through an easy-to-track open field for 2 months, so Errol died violently too. Lupus, then covered in blood, goes off with Luna because he sees her as his sister. How romantic. As it turns out, the cats know Alari. Living alive Alari, who we already knew was alive. But never mind all that, we get to meet the best character, Rock. Rock's noble and relatable goal is to marry everyone. His family didn't want Johnny Bravo to lead their pack someday, so he killed them. He tries to get Luna to run away with him, but apparently she likes being a powerless loser or something. Midnight walks in on Luna and Lupus having a rival heart event, which makes her extremely upset, seeing as she didn't get to save before she went to look for Lupus. She decides to switch to Fang's route instead. She goes back to Fang's cave, but wait! More flashbacks. Fang and Flutter hang out on a cliff. Alari lived because some random wolf adopted her. There was a cougar somewhere. We learned that Rune and Mink, Balder's wife, grew up together. Hopefully they're not related despite looking like the same wolf in different lighting. Mink took off with Balder because he was charming and didn't kill people. This made Rune very, very upset, so he killed some people. Anyways, Fang brings a totally different girl to his den, which ruins yet another midnight romance endeavor by making Fang embarrassed about his trophy wife. The cats get attacked by a cougar, but Millie kills it like a wolf would with her horns. Fang starts the meeting, but Millie isn't allowed in. The cat watches it for her. "Let's go eat all the cows," says Fang. Everybody Everybody's pretty on board with this until Luna says she's not interested. And then they change their mind again when they learn Luna's the Omega. So Luna gets her ear ripped off and banished forever. Great time to hook up with that rock guy. Eh, Luna? Eh? No? Lupus is sent off with Rune, where Mara tells him all about how he should kill his father. Oh, and did I mention that Rune is his father? Rune is his secret father. Luna worries about Lupus, but Midnight spouts some Lupus-themed lies at her until she stops. Midnight is clearly the smartest wolf currently alive, seeing as literally nobody can tell when she's being a snake. Bone comes in to tell Fang something important, but we don't know what it is. Oh!